Hi, this is Carl the Cobra Frutch, and you're watching Lights Out.
This is Faisal Khan for Lights Out, proudly sponsored by Spartans Law. Delighted to be joined by the British and Commonwealth Heavyweight Champion. It's Fabio Wardley. We're here for Fight Week. Fabio, first of all, before we begin to interview, just want to thank you for all the retweets you've given us over the last week. Really appreciate that, mate.
Pleasure, mate, pleasure.
How are you feeling going into Fight Week, Fabio?
Yeah, really good, really good. Looking forward to it.
There's been a lot said. I watched The Gloves Are Off on Monday night. He's spoken about your white-collar background. You said that, well, if I'm a white-collar boxer, then the pressure's more or less on you. What do you make of how Frasier's approached this fight?
There's not much to be made of it. I don't think he's approached it however he's had to. He's been almost backed into a corner he's had to take. He says he wants it, but the first time around wasn't so keen. At this point he's in a position where he couldn't have turned away from it a second time, so he's just kind of had to knuckle down and get stuck in.
Every time the spotlight's sort of been on you, you've rose through the challenge. We saw you out in Riyadh with David Adelaide, Nathan Gorman obviously before that, and now obviously you've got a guy that's an Olympic bronze medalist. So is it fair to say when the spotlight is more on you, it makes you perform better and you thrive under that?
Yeah, 1000%. I think that's the word for it, thrive. I live for it, I love it. Them big fights, them big occasions are what bring the best out in me. I want to look back on my career and be proud of it and look at it and go, right, you know what? I've done some great things here. I was in great fights. I never said no to anyone. I always got stuck in, and that's a career to be proud of.
You've beaten some of the best names in the British domestic scene, and you've been in some very tough fights as well. Tough fights that we've enjoyed watching. But where would you rank Frasier Clarke with the likes of the David Adelaides, the Nathan Gormans, the guys that you fought in the past?
He's up there. It's a question I've been asked a few times, and he's in that top percent. I think they had different attributes, and I was a different boxer at times of each time I fought them. So I think to rank them is difficult for me. I put them in all along the kind of same keel.
In terms of what he said in the Gloves Are Off about you coming from a white collar background and that he's travelled the world, and you sort of stated that, well, if I'm the former white collar boxer, you're the guy that's had the spotlight on you. Did you think that he gives you that respect that you deserve being the current champion, and the fact that you've had to maybe come up through a different route, but probably more difficult route? Yeah,
I think what he's trying to do is push the pressure of the situation onto me and away from him, because he's trying to say, oh, like, you're the champion, you're the pro guy that's done all this and done all that. I'm just the amateur. And when he realistically knows that based off his history, based off his background, he's the one that should be beating me.
Okay, just two more questions. I know I've not got you for long. What does Frasier do good? Or what doesn't he do good? And how will this fight end on Saturday night, Fabio?
He does a number of things good. But I also think that's the problem, is that he only does a number of things good. There's not really any one area where he excels, where I think he's great, he's really good at. I think he's well-rounded, he's well put together. But overall, I don't think there's nothing too crazy I'm particularly worried about.
How does the fight end on Saturday night?
With a Fabio Wardley win and a Fabio Wardley KO.
Top man, best of luck for Sunday night. And thank you very much for talking to Lights Out.
Appreciate it, thank you.